like it's not the first story of the film, but it is in it. It's important for him, and I think the monologue of the mother is very important to say what is really dangerous, what is really make me afraid, what is my pain, and the pain of the mother is it's so much more like the pain of this East German writer.
I have a lot more questions, but I know that we have very little time, and I'm guessing some of you have questions, and I'm happy to have you ask them before I go back to some of my own. Is there anybody who has, there's a gentleman right in the back there in a white shirt. We're going to give you a microphone to make sure that everybody can hear you well.
Thank you for the film. In the New York scenes, for me, when I see the graffiti on the wall and I look at the subway, it feels anachronistic. And I have no idea if the Berlin outdoor scenes have that same feel. And I sort of wanted to ask about that.
There's a mask. I don't understand it, sorry.
Or I can repeat.
Yeah, you can repeat.
I hope I understand.
Thank you for the film. I'm asking because when I see the New York scenes, the graffiti sort of in black and white and the subway is modern, so it feels anachronistic. Yeah. Feels out of place. But I don't know if the same is true of the outdoor scenes in Berlin from their time periods. And I also didn't know if that was a decision that was conscious or if that was just something that's how it was filmed, so that's how it was put together.
Anachronistic meaning that
it was not like Yeah, I think that was an idea in the beginning. We want to make a collage, which also was animation film, and we were interested in that you have it like in a game. Yes, you're looking for something, and you can ask that's true or it's not true. And this is the same with elements. We saw it in New York when it was something was a mistake. The driver with a bicycle is a mistake. But for me, it's nice that I have it because I have shots without the man with a bicycle. You are historically correct, but I like it to jump because in my memories or in my dreams, I'm never correctly. I mix everything. I mix my mother from the 60s. I mix it with a house of the 90s and with the situation of 2020. Yes, and I like this so much. I wrote my final work in my university about that in the art of Tarkovsky, Andrei Tarkovsky, the Russian film director. I'm looking for the different levels, what we can thinking and what we can feel. When you sit here and look to me now, you see it, you hear me, but you in the same time, you can think the situation. When you go to your refrigerator 2 hours later, you know that you have a wonderful beer inside or a wonderful cake, and you can cut it in the same moment, but you hear me and you see me, and you can jump to the scene before when you came to the cinema. In the traffic, you have a ugly driver which was calling to you, and you can cut it together. Yes, and I like this so much, and film sometimes is for me so traditional to make this is after that, and this is why, this is the reason for that. And so I like it to make these jumps, and this is a part of the jumps. And I saw it and I say, yes, we do it. We have the man of the bicycle, and we see some in the subway, which is modern. But this, I hope that it's not, you go not out of the film, then it's a mistake by myself. But I hope that you understand the mood, and it's not a question of money alone. It's a question of yes, a little bit the game between you and me. And I want that everybody in the room has his own film. Yes, I don't want that you see only my film. That's boring. I want that you work with my ideas, with my associations, and you have your own associations. You have to be free to feel and to sing. What do you want? This is my kind of filmmaking.
It's almost like you want us to question what we're watching, and your own act of doing that is akin to the rebellious imagination of Brasch, because he too, you know, he was, as you said, an anarchist. He had a very chaotic imagination, and he had chaotic ways of expressing it. I can't imagine a truthful biopic that would have a standard, and then this happened, and then this happened. Who cares? So you're doing something that is closer to his own spirit, I think. Are there any other questions? There's a woman right here in the middle.
Hi, thank you so much for the film. I'm a producer myself, so my question is going to be very much production-based. I'm curious how long you were in development with the film, and if you could speak to how long it took you to shoot it, since it was also in Germany and New York. I don't know if you actually went to Cannes, and if you could even talk a little bit about the budget, because we know it's an independent film, but I'm just curious, how was the process for you?
The budget is a catastrophe. That's not normal. We have parallel, the writer has another fiction film, and they go also to support by the state for money. They ask for the money, and this production takes the double. When we take 200,000 or 400,000, they take 400,000 or 800,000. And every time I said, yes, they make a film which is placed 2022, and we make a historical film about from 1955 to 2001. We need money, but we have not so much money. We normally, this kind of film, in a good decision in an American way, needs 20 million. In a European way, you need 12,000. And in a normal way, you have 7 million, not thousand, sorry. But we have 4 million. That's nothing. That's really nothing. But it means I have a team around me. It's like my family. We worked many years together, and so everybody is our own artist. And so I so entrust to them, and they make we say from shit to gold, so we can do it. Yeah, so, and we make sometimes, the shooting in New York or in Cannes was really, when my students make his first fiction short film, they have a big staff, they have many cars, they have so much techniques. I had in these two situations, I was really a very poor director, but for me, it's I like it to have a difficult situation. I like, it's my history. I say, for some 20 years, I had some, from Hollywood, some people came when I show my films there, they came to me and give me scripts, and you want to make it, and most of the scripts were not mine, but someday when somebody is coming with a very nice script, and I say, yes, that's the script, I come to Hollywood, I want to make it, I know that they say, yes, it's a Hollywood film, but this is a special Hollywood film, this is the cheapest Hollywood film we ever made, and so is a little bit my situation. It was, everything was, has to be cheap, but it's like when you are cooking for your friends, you have not the oysters or you have not caviar, but you have the best food what you can give. And this is our idea. We try to make from this situation. We have 45 shooting days. That's not so bad, but we have to be very fast, and it's not so that you have one scene per day or 2 scenes per day. Some days we are jump between the scene from the 60s to the 70s on one day for the actor. You need wonderful actors that they have it, that they are so fast, and they have to change, to jump in the times, and to have memories, what I have to do, what is the next scene. This is, yeah, it's a little bit stressy, but it's also a kind of adventure to say we have nothing, but we do that. It looks expensive, and it's a good food for everybody.
There's a wonderful line I always tell my students: the limitations define the possibilities.
Yes. That's true.
Any other question? Because I think we have, we're going to have to leave in about 2 minutes, but yes, okay, on the aisle.
The second question, I understand. The first question, I didn't understand.
Was his book ever published in New York in English?
I'm not sure, but the problem was every time with the literature by Thomas Brasch that it was not an international distribution, really. It was a small, I think his theater play was here in New York, Lovely Rita was here. This is also an episode, the lady in the bar, this was the actress in his piece here in this play in New York, but he has not too much distribution in other countries. That was really, that's a little bit the tragedy, because I think when you have good translators, he was a translator from English to, he makes Shakespeare translation and Anton Chekhov, but I think it's not so easy to have English versions of his work, yeah.
I actually read that his work was not published in the English language, ironically enough, considering that he was the translator of Chekhov and Shakespeare. And he never really finished the book that he was writing. I mean, this is part of the issue, that book sort of exists as a concept in the film, as a process, but never as a final reality. So this is the film of what he would have probably loved to write.
Yes, but I think that's why we make it so important with this last sentences. We say that's the 16,000 sides of what he was about the murder, Brunke. I think the most of the artists have the problem that they are not finished. Yes, they are. They want another thing. They have a dream to do that, and every time you are not enough for you. Yes, and that's also the tragedy of Thomas. I think it's a part of what he can do, and I think that's the tragedy of the most of the artists, that they are not they are not finished, and they have other possibilities, and you have only some chances. And some chances are going away, and you have to live with them. That's your tragedy, and this is also a desire, and that's also the power to know I have to work, I have to work, I have to work, I have to work. And this is also my situation now. I feel like a student, yes, but I know my life will finish, and so I have to work and work and work. And for me, my dream is to falling behind the film is finished, and then I'm falling from the chair, and that's it. When the Portuguese director Oliveira, he was 104 and was waiting for 2 other scripts to shoot these films. Yes, that's a great hero for me. That's my dream. 104 is not bad, but I like this idea to have a next possibility to looking for a next script or for a next ideas. That's a great situation. That is the energy what you need to live.
Well, speaking of energy, I have a feeling that many of us are kind of tired after a very long and exciting evening. So I'm simply going to take this opportunity to thank the Center for Jewish History, the German Film Office, and especially Andreas Kleinert for joining us this evening.
Please like this video and subscribe for more content from the Leo Baeck Institute.